Hi folks! Welcome to Living the Skye Life. If you're new here, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sarah.
We're a musician and artist, and this channel is about our journey escaping suburban life and moving to our dream home, a 200-year-old cottage on the Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands.
Along for the ride are our two crazy but adorable pups, Jack Spaniels and Nori.
Join us as we experience the highs and the lows of living in a remote corner of a wild Hebridean island.
If you missed last week's video, we're on holiday in the stunning archipelago of remote Scottish Islands, the Outer Hebrides.
Last week we explored the Isle of Harris with its stunning golden beaches whilst experiencing every kind of weather the island could throw at us.
This week we head north to the Isle of Lewis and take a journey through the island's incredible history, from the prehistoric to the modern day.
Plus, we reflect on our personal connection to this island, as it was part of the story of how Sarah and I met.
If you don't already, hit subscribe to keep up with our weekly adventures.
Join us as we swap the Skye life for the Outer Hebridean life in this special episode of Living the Skye Life. So we're currently in the Outer Hebrides, and right now we're in Harris, and today we're going to go up to Lewis, which is the northern part of the island. It's not really a separate island, is it? It's just one big landmass, but...
One landmass, but it's known as two separate isles, so the Isle of Harris and the Isle of Lewis, and there was a border point, not a proper border.
No, there's a sign.
There's a sign.
We'll be there in about, 20 minutes or something, but we're going to go further north. We're going to go somewhere very special indeed.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to find out.
It was grey and rainy when we set off, but we had high hopes that the sun would come out for us today, after almost a week of wild weather. Watch as the scenery changes from the rugged, mountainous terrain of Harris to the flatter, more open landscape of Lewis in the north. The stone circle here at Callanish is around 5,000 years old. It even predates the main circle at Stonehenge down in the south of England. There are stone circles like this across Scotland, but Callanish is unique, with its huge 4.8 metre tall central stone, the lines of smaller stones radiating out south, east and west, and the avenue of stones leading north. It also has a small chambered tomb at the very centre point of the circle. Although the exact purpose remains a mystery, it is believed that the site was used for ritual activity for at least 2,000 years, before the land was gradually covered in peat. Whatever took place at Callanish, it's clear that this location was one of great significance to the prehistoric people who lived here.
These are the standing stones of Callanish.
Yay!
Or at least one set of them, because there's a few, but we'll go and have a look at them soon. But this is the main one, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so cool. We've both been here before, separately.
Yep.
So it's really nice to come back and visit it. I haven't been for like 4 or 5 years. Actually, no, 6 years.
6 years.
6 years, we know.
Anyway, isn't it amazing? Look at what absolutely stunning place. The prehistoric stone circle with a sort of runway that goes down in front of it. It's so amazing. It's like just absolutely beautiful. But what they don't tell you, right, and we won't show you until this point as well, is if you turn around this way, it's all serenity.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, and you can see the sea there and the hills. You turn around this way, and it's all houses. Who's there? More houses there. More houses there. It's like a whole settlement, which is what it probably was in the first place. So, you know, time moves on in that. But It's a stunning place.
Yeah.
If you just pretend that you can't see the house is just over there.
You just stand with your back to them and look the other way.
Look that way, and it's like it's in the middle of nowhere.
They don't really know the purpose of these stone circles. Like with all of them, it's a bit of a mystery, but they're usually aligned with the sun, especially at solstices. Although our new theory is they're placed in a circle, so whichever way the wind is blowing when it's raining, you can shelter on the other side.
Like we did the other day, to get away from the hailstones, the wind and the sideways rain all at once. Yeah. But this is amazing. What a beautiful and amazing thing to see, and we feel very lucky to see it as well.
And it's really quiet. Like there's a couple of other people here, but
there are now.
We were saying if this was on Skye, it would be completely
it'd be mobbed.
It would be very busy.
Yeah.
We've taken our own advice. We are here early in the morning, so it's nice to get it pretty quiet. But yeah, if this was attached to the mainland by a bridge, it would be a lot busier.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, and we hope you've enjoyed seeing this.
The sun's come out.
The sun's come out. We're going to go and check out the other ones now, because there's 2 or 3 of them dotted around here. Yeah, let's do that.
Can't believe he's taking a selfie without me.
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Back in Yolanda, and Sarah's meant to use the loo, and I am sitting here and I've taken my cap off and I've got a horn, look, a devil horn, a little curl, and that means that I'm now committed to wearing a cap all day. I've got a hat here, that's what you want. Well, as promised earlier, that's the Callanish stones 2 behind me. They're over there. Let's go and have a look. Sarah and the boys are staying in the car, and the reason is that there's lambs here and they're everywhere, so even if the dogs were on leads, it's just not cool for the mums or for the lambs, so it's just going to be me doing this little bit. Gotta go over the stile. Hui. There they are. Some of the stones are very tired. I mean, they are quite old. Now over yonder, on the top of that hill, that's the 3rd one, and I don't think I've actually been to that one. Let's do it, let's go over there. And for a penny and for a pound, we may as well. We're here now, so let's go and have a look at these ones too. It's absolutely awesome. It's so amazing. It's like you see stone circles now and again in Britain, but to have this many in a concentrated area like this is just astonishing. It's really, really beautiful. And just think of the history. 5,000 years of history surrounds me. Right, now we're going over there. It's very boggy here, if you're ever here. Some of these boards aren't looking great. I hope my feet don't go crashing through these things. I'm sure we'll be okay though, we've not got far to go. I'm using a standing stone as a wind baffle, so I hope that's working. But here I am standing in the stone circle again. 3rd one today. It's just absolutely stunning. You should come and see this place. It's amazing. Yes, it's settled now. There's, new houses here and so forth. But there's always been people here. There's always been people settling here. So there's no different. It's just that there's old stuff and there's new stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Right, now to yomp back across the swamp. It's interesting actually that these things are all up on high bits, all high flat bits. I wonder if this was a marsh, back in the day. And then I start thinking things like, well, if that's the case, I wonder if they had burials here. You know how you see like bog people of the world that have been found in really ancient bogs, I wonder if there's any of them just all around us and we don't know. There must be burials here, I'm sure there is. In fact, we don't know if this is a burial site. That's how old this is. It's 5,000 years old plus. It's crazy. Just amazing place. Love it. Uh-oh. Back in the landy for Jack and Nori. They can't come with us.
Yeah, we'll make this a short visit because the boys are in the landy. But the windows are open, they've got water, so it's fine. Also, despite the sun coming out, it's not even in double figures yet in the temperature. 11s is? We're here at Carloway, which is a broch. We love brochs, don't we?
Yeah, they're pretty broch and roll.
Always, always.
Every time.
So if you'd seen our video where we went up to the north coast and we went to Betty Hill, there was the remnants of a broch there, but it's just literally a couple of stones on the ground, whereas this is a half-complete one.
It has been reconstructed though in places. You
Yeah.
can see iron bars under the lintels
Yeah.
that are holding it in place.
Holding it up. These structures are about 2,000 years old. They're Iron Age. They're unique to the Scottish Highlands and Islands. So that's super cool. You don't find them anywhere else. So they're pretty impressive structures and no one really knows what they're for.
Hanging out in.
Yeah, hanging out, taking a few selfies.
Yeah. Look at that. How you meant to go in here?
Right, hold my phone.
Hold my beer. Are you actually going to go in there? Even you're going to struggle to get in there, especially with the camera. You got in, but can you get back out?
Cool. Whoa. There's some big stones to have above your head. It's quite small in here. Right, I think it's time to get out before I get stuck. Fortunately, I don't think I'm growing anymore. Call that the claustrophobic crab move.
I am the claustrophobic crab.
At least I'm not a sensitive weasel.
You can see they've tried to reinforce this with a iron bar, and that is bent. So yeah, it's cracked as well, the lintel. So I won't be going in there, no chance. I'm sure they'll find this funny, but I don't find it funny. I've broken back there with this trip. There are over 500 of these mysterious structures all over the north and west of Scotland, the brochs. Very little is known about them. This one, Carloway, is no exception to this. Were the defensive structures only occupied in times of feud or siege? Well, perhaps not, as fortresses need a water supply or well. Also, there's no archaeological evidence of any warlike activity on any of the broch sites all across Scotland. They're thought to have been built in the period between 100 BC and 300 AD, and it's rumoured their origin was on the Isles of Orkney or Skye. The most complete broch is Musa in Shetland, but Carloway is the best preserved in the Outer Hebrides. Perhaps this is because this particular broch was occupied as late as the 1870s by a respectable looking family living on the ground floor flat.
These old walls saw 100 lives, from the days of old to these days of yours and mine, long after we've gone. These old walls will still be standing strong.
Hi guys, we've stopped to look at this gift shop. Nori is not happy about that. I don't think I'm going to have this heated windscreen for long, because I think he's just going to scrape through it eventually. Hi Jack. And Nori and their muddy paw marks.
Hey, babies. Well, we had to exit through the gift shop, obviously.
I got a can of cream soda, which is nice, thanks.
Yeah,
Sarah
welcome.
bought me that.
I got a Harris tweed purse.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I lost my purse just before we came away on holiday. I was in denial for ages, thinking it's just somewhere in the cottage or in the byre, and I've just misplaced it, but I think I lost it. I don't know where it's gone.
Lost it in the stupidest thing ever, isn't it? When someone says, "Did you know you've lost it?" Well, no.
Obviously not.
Otherwise, I'd go and get it.
I got another one. We're staying on Harris, so it makes sense. Harris tweed purse. And the guy in the shop gave me £1 because it's bad luck to have a purse with no money in.
That's true.
So he said, that's for your purse.
Scottish tradition. There you go.
Okay, onwards. We've come to the Arnol Blackhouse, which is a traditional house of Scotland. This is what a lot of the settlements would have looked like. It's been done up to how it would have looked when it was still in use. So they don't allow dogs inside. So we're just going to take it one by one and play with the dogs when we're not going in. For hundreds of years, it was the norm in rural Scotland for people and their animals to live under the same roof. By the 1890s, regulations were put in place to improve sanitation, and these homes, known as blackhouses, started to be phased out in favour of cottages with separate outbuildings for livestock, like our cottage has. So this was built in around 1880, and it's called a black house probably because it had very few windows and very small doors, and it had a fire burning pretty much constantly, so they got really smoky and peaty. And it is crazy, they've got a real peat fire going. It is so smoky. It's quite difficult to breathe. Very warm though. The preserved black house here at number 42 Arnol has been kept as it was when the last members of this crofting family moved out in 1966. It is now all that remains of a completely vanished way of life here in the Outer Hebrides. This would have been the bedroom. Wow, that is crazy. Coming back out into the bright sunshine as well. Whew, I feel like I could hardly breathe in there. And those electric lights, they wouldn't have had those at first either, so it would have been even darker. You see so many ruins of them around the Highlands and the islands, but you can't really envision how they would have been inside without something like this.
Now we're talking your language, eh lads? Nori, what's this? Yes, treat time. You being good boys? Wait for your mum. You eating moss? Don't eat moss, Nori. She won't be long. She's just gone in to look at the black house. It's a very old house with a thatched roof, and Jack seems to want to understand. Nori's more interested in treats and chaos. Why have you paused? You're gonna have some water. Don't let Nori drink it all. There's plenty for both of you.
This more modern cottage is known as a white house. This is the type of cottage you'll see across the Highlands and Islands of Scotland. The owners of the black house that we just saw built and moved into this house during the 1920s, but apparently moved back again because the cement rendering caused it to be far too damp. So across the road here is the White House, which is the more kind of modern style of house you get in Scotland and the Highlands. Our cottage is more in that style, but we do think there was a building there as early as 1840s, so it might have been a black house originally and then changed into this. boys. Always my good boys.
That was very kind. Sarah also paid for me to come and have a look, which was nice, so I'm doing that now. But I'm sure she's already shown you the tour, so I won't do it again. If you've seen it already, there's no point in doing it twice. But I'll just let you all know that Sarah was very kind, and I also got a ticket to come and have a look, which is awesome.
Can I have a paw? Oh, I got all of Nori's paws. Hey, can you sit? Nori. Nori, sit. Sit. Good boys. Good boys. Hey, yeah. Ay, 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 ay. This is how we're used to seeing black houses, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just empty ruins with no roofs.
Yep.
That was amazing, though. The interior.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Very smoky. Actually, not cool. Very warm and smoky and dark.
Warm and smoky.
It's not a pleasant way to live, to be honest, but
No.
needs must for the people that lived here.
Absolutely, but it's just crazy to see it in real life, because we see black houses all the time when we're out and about, because they're always out in the wilds of Skye and, well, all over the Highlands really, and you
Yeah.
do see them a lot, but it's really interesting to see one reconstructed like that.
Time for some lunch?
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah, and some coffee.
The dogs have had their lunch too.
Yeah, they've had their lunch. We need some lunch and we need some caffeine.
And what's that big orange thing in the sky? It's been not present for our entire trip so far. I'm looking for bottles in the walls.
I
I'm not seeing any though.
think they probably would have found them by now.
Well, you never know. Oh, there's no top to this bit. That's fine. Got a cap on, I couldn't see this. I was just looking on the map, and if you go that way, which is north, it takes you all the way to the Faroe Islands, which is about the distance between the north coast of Scotland and Birmingham away. And if you go that way slightly over to the west, it goes to Iceland, and if you go further than that, you end up in Greenland. So if you go directly west from here, you'll just miss the tip of Greenland and you'll get to Newfoundland in Canada. It's very different here than Skye, because in Skye you're constantly surrounded by other islands in the mainland, and here you really are on the outer edge. It's lots and lots and lots of sea in all directions.
Maybe why it's so wild a lot of the time.
It is, yeah.
Skye is a little bit protected by the Outer Hebrides, sort of curves round it and protects it a little bit.
Yeah, whereas here it's just really exposed. It's
Wild.
really on the wild frontier.
So today is a
Outer
welcome
edge.
respite.
Yeah, it's nice to have some nice weather. Haven't had many hours of sunshine. We have had no hours of
We've had
sunshine.
pretty much
until
no
today.
sunshine, so we're making the most of it.
So that's it for this trip, isn't it, to Lewis?
Yeah.
That's it for today. We could go further north, but we'll save that for next time. You can go all the way up to the lighthouse at the butt of Lewis, but unfortunately we don't have the time to do that today, so we're going to head back south now.
Yeah, we didn't trust ourselves to go there with a straight face either.
The butt of Lewis.
The butt, I think, just means the point or the tip. Still plenty to do on Lewis, but we'll just have to come back.
We'll have to come back another time.
I haven't even taken you to Stornoway yet.
No.
Shocking.
No, we did go to Stornoway,
Yeah.
but we didn't film that because that was on our day off.
So just a reason to come back.
We've got a few hours before our ferry and we have to check out of our digs, so we've come down here and we're walking the dogs and it's just absolutely stunning. It actually reminds me of Glencoe in the Highlands and that or Sligaken. It's just absolutely beautiful. The river is so clear and the dogs are able to swim. Down here at this part there's not so much wind as well, because further up the hill there's a lot of wind, but we're down in the glen now where it's nice and still-ish. The dogs are just having the time of their life. It's beautiful. And it's just a little bonus walk as well, because we didn't even know this was here. But we do now! Hey!
Nice, isn't it?
Awesome.
Oh, good boy. We're just taking a break on our walk at the moment, and this is probably the last thing we're probably going to film while on Harris and Lewis, because we're getting the ferry later on today.
Look at the dog.
It's sod's law, isn't it, that the beautiful weather comes on the last day of the holiday. But
Absolutely.
we had one really nice day,
Yep.
and then we had a lot of wild weather, but to be honest, it was quite nice to have the excuse to just sort of chill out and not do anything and just enjoy being here and being with the dogs and not editing.
True.
But we did love everything that we've seen here. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
stunning. We really wanted to come to the Outer Hebrides together because we've both been here separately in different times, and it's kind of a personal part of our story as well.
True.
A lot of people ask us on the channel, and when we did our Q&As on Patreon, the most popular question was, how did we meet? And we thought we would tell you here. Long story short, we had a very modern romance and we met on Tinder.
Yep.
So that's the mystery gone for you guys, but it wasn't quite as simple as that.
No, so I liked Sarah and she didn't reply for a while, and I sent her a message but she didn't reply to that.
Guess what the message was, guys?
It was about metal detecting.
It was about metal detecting.
Because Sarah worked for Historic Environment Scotland, so I assumed that she would be into historical artefacts and things like that, but she is a bit, but she's definitely not interested in metal detecting, or wasn't back then anyway. And so she didn't message me, and then I was having a clear out a few weeks later, so I was looking through the messages and I was like, oh, that's that girl from Historic Environment Scotland. So I thought, okay, metal detecting maybe wasn't the way to go. So I told a joke and that got her attention. But as it happened, you were here, weren't you?
Yeah, so I was on the Isle of Lewis and I was here for the Hebcelt Festival, which is a music festival in May, with my friend Chris, who is my really good friend. And what was the joke?
The joke goes like this. There are two wind turbines in a field. One wind turbine turns to the other one and says, I'm bored, what do you want to do? The other one says, I know, let's put some music on. The other one says, what kind of music are you into? The other one says, I'm a big metal fan.
But and it just so happened, my friend Chris is an engineer and he was working for wind turbine companies
At the time.
in Scotland. So in a field next to our tent, I turned to my friend and was like, look, this guy's messaged me this joke. You know about wind turbines, do you think it's funny? He went, yeah, that's a good joke, you should message him back.
And there you go, went from there. So it's Chris and that daft joke.
Yeah.
Who, actually, my mate Scott told me that joke. I just thought I'd get that in there. So there you go. That's the story of us meeting, and it was on Tinder.
On Tinder via the Isle of Lewis, which is why we feel a bit of a special connection to this island, and we wanted to come here together and enjoy this holiday.
And have your arm pulled off by a spaniel.
Yeah. And it also has to be said though, Chris helped us get together. He's now married and had a baby with one of my best friends from school, so
there you go. What goes around comes around, eh?
yeah, bit of romantic karma there.
Yeah. We hope you've enjoyed watching this trip as much as we've enjoyed doing it, and I'm sure we'll be back.
So much we didn't do. We didn't get to the distillery.
No.
There's beehive houses,
Yeah, dwellings, yep.
stone houses up in the hills that we really wanted to explore.
And we'll probably go
And-
to Stornoway and film it next time as well.
Yeah, so many more beaches, and also the other islands as well down south.
For sure.
So definitely want to do a bit more island hopping, but it's so nice that we're so close. It used to be travelling to the Outer Hebrides was like a massive undertaking from Fife, but here,
Just nip over.
just nip over on the ferry.
There you go. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. Welcome to Starbuck Ferry Terminal. They're opening the doors. Darth Vader's coming. Da 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 da. Is he going to come bailing out with his lightsaber ablaze?
I mean, there's a distinct lack of like dry ice and smoke machine. And slightly more guys in high-vis jackets.
They're just lowering the drawbridge into the boat, and it looks very much like something on the Death Star. And if Darth Vader comes out, I'm going to say, Darth, you may be the father, but I've got a Land Rover Defender, so I am the farmer. We didn't rehearse this joke. I don't think I was going to.
Can you tell? I'm not going to lie, I don't think Calmac would really appreciate their ferry being compared to the Death Star, but
There is that.
I've seen things in my life that look more like the Death Star, I'm going to be honest.
Yay, adventure over. Until next time.
We're on the ferry. I've got the Prosecco this time.
I've got a non-alcoholic ginger beer. What does this matter? To drive.
Cheers.
Cheers.
As always folks, thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed that insight into our personal connection with the Isle of Lewis and that trip through history that we took you on.
If there is anybody else in Scotland you'd like us to visit, please let us know in the comments below.
If you did enjoy the video and you want to support our channel further, you can do so over on Ko-fi, where you can buy us a cup of coffee, the boys' little treat, or just contribute to the running costs of making these videos for you.
Because ferries aren't cheap, by the way.
Or if you want to help our channel out more long term, you can join our amazing community over on Patreon, where you get bonus content for helping us out each month.
If you're interested in our creative endeavours, you can go to Sarah's Etsy store for artworks, or over to my Bandcamp for my original music.
As always, the links to all of our pages are in the video description below.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you do next week.
We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life.
How do I start again? As always. Oh my god. I had a mind blank.
Bonk ear.
Is that your druid's dance?
Yeah.
But
Do it again.
we've taken our own advice. We're here early. Here.
If there is anywhere else you could think of us to visit, brilliant.
Such beautiful weather on the day that.
Do that again. Jack's tail. It's slightly easier for you than it is for me. Especially with the backpack on. Oh, it's stecky here.
What an amazing day, and
Jack's tail. Or his tail. If there is anywhere else in Scotland you'd like us to visit, just let us know.
because we're getting the ferry
I've
later on.
got a fly in my ear now. Oh my god, we're never going to film this bit. Well, I was just thinking to myself, I'll just pull myself into shot, shall I? It's very different, Hing. It sounds like the butt of Lois. Hey Lois, the butt of Lois. One wind turbine. Okay.
Just where do you think you're going? What are you doing, monkey? Right, I think that's frowned upon from a conservation point of view. So much we didn't do.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
You don't actually have to hold it though, because we're freeze frame it.
We did our own
You
freeze
think
frame.
she'd know this by now?
Oh, and they fart.
Click here to subscribe to live in the Skye life.
Click here to go back to the start of our adventures with our very first episode.